Malebo. User 361. Dumelang. Dumelang. Happy Sunday, y'all. Or they call it a sound day. It's the day of the sound. That's why they play music. Gospel music. Gospel. Malisele. It's a Sunday. It's a very extra chilled session. Wrapping up the week. And talking about the aura, the ether, the akash, the soul, the spirit, the it. In Hindu they call it Tatmavasi. You are it. Hey Silwane, Malisele, kid. Hi kid. So who else here knows about the aura? What the heck is the aura? Aura. Sive. Thank you very much, Malisele. I can see that you're already liking up the life. And welcome to everybody that is here. Dumelang. I hope you guys are actually prepared for the week that is coming. If not, it's still coming anyway, prepared or not. But nonetheless, I want us to talk about something a little bit deep today. I want us to talk about beliefs, bunch of stories that we have, because you and I are nothing but bunch of stories. You have a story about a potato, you have a story about your dad, you have a story about your mom, you have a story about sex, you have a story about TikTok. All of us have a different story. They call it perception. So if we want to change our life on an outside, we firstly have to clean up the perception. The perception is the glasses that the earth has borrowed us with to look at the world. So if you got glasses, the people that put on glasses, if you got glasses and they're a little bit murky, they're not clean, you can't see the world properly. So this will also come in handy for the people that have started using the law of attraction, because it's a very tricky game. In life, you don't get what you want. In life, you get who you are. So if somehow you still have issues lurking underneath, don't be surprised when you start attracting them on a physical side. Because your aura is that body that informs this one here. But the aura, you can't see it with. You don't go to clicks and say, can I please get aura? Hello, hi Silwane, I see you. So how we're going to do it as well is, I'm trying to integrate taking up the questions over and above the story that I have. But if you have a question, you can put it on here. I can mix and match it, run with it, and line it up with the topic of the day, which is the aura. The aura comes in colors. I want you to understand me before I start saying this. It's going to be bad for the people that do not understand this disclaimer. I'm going to attempt to talk about something that cannot be defined, right? I'm going to try to talk about something that is out of the bounds of time and space. So obviously I'm going to err. It's like when you go to the Tao, when you go to Zen Buddhism, they'll tell you, I think it's a first chapter of the Tao, it says, the Tao cannot be named. Because if you name it, you negate it. The divine cannot be grasped. The divine cannot be defined because it goes out of the five sensory perception. So we're treading in a very dangerous zone. And if you're having up your pen there, and if you're having up your red pen and your clip and saying, no, he's wrong here, I'm sharing my personal experience. I'm sharing something that can only be understood experientially, but I'm trying to put it in words. So welcome to everybody, Miss K, Pubby Rock. Good afternoon, a very good afternoon. And while we at it, if you joined us during the week, you can ask maybe a question to say, if I left you behind somewhere, particularly when I was talking about the hormones. I'm going to talk about it today. What happens when you sleep? What kind of hormones do you release? Because hormones that you release can either make or break you. It's like with people that don't generate enough melatonin, they can't sleep. Melatonin, by the way, it's a natural hormone that your body secretes. You generate it by your thoughts. You have to send an instruction. And now, if you don't send an instruction to your hypothalamus, which will talk to your endocrine system to release melatonin, you'll find yourself having insomnia. Because melatonin is antithetical to insomnia. No melatonin, insomnia. Melatonin, no insomnia. It goes back to the aura, the body that you can see with your eyes, but it affects all your decisions. The first time I learned about that, I laughed so hard. And I wondered to myself, no wonder they call it a subconscious. 99% of what we do, what we decide, how we react, what we wear, what we cook, it's not informed by the conscious mind. Have you ever walked in a store and somebody attends to you? They're like, hey ma'am, or hey sir, what can I help you with? And you say, I will see it, or I will know it when I see it. What's pursuing you? What's directing you? Part of it is your emotions. You love the red dress because you saw somebody else putting it on, because mainly that's why we do things. You know, we see somebody starting up TikTok, we want to start it. You see somebody registering a construction business, we want to start a construction business. We see somebody meditating, we want to meditate. We don't trust ourselves that much. But nonetheless, back to this thing of the aura. So the aura, some people try to explain it this way, particularly psychologically. They call it a psyche. You know, a psyche is a combination of your mental self, your emotional self, your energetic self, your spiritual self. These are things that you can't see, but they can affect you. It's like a belief. It's like faith. It's like a perception. You can't help it. If you think the world is a dangerous place, the world will affirm your belief. You know? And this, I know to some people, this is going to be like, no, what do you mean? If you think the world is a dangerous place, the world will affirm your beliefs. If you think the world is a lovely place, the world will affirm your beliefs. We've been given a brain, which has been likened more like a projector. That's what the brain is. It's a receiver and it's a broadcaster. But to some people, it's an abuser. A lot of people are being punished and abused by their brains because the brain that is not properly being programmed can wreak a whole lot amount of havoc. The brain that has been told a very sadistic and a sad story, it's always on a defensive mode. The brain that is harboring pain, harboring trauma, harboring unforgiveness, harboring guilt, harboring judgment, it's always in a state of perpetual attack. The brain that is like that is very dangerous. You know, it's okay. So that's why I normally tell people to say, when I say heal, I'm not necessarily only talking about the practicality of it on the body. I'm talking about it on a substrata of what you call the world. When you wake up in the morning, or right now when you're looking at TikTok, do you feel that the world is not fair? Do you feel that God is punishing you? Do you feel that people are taking money? Do you feel like people are taking money from you? Or do you feel that people are taking advantage of you? I will beckon you to stop. The world is not a dangerous place. I'll tell you why I say that. In our head, in our brains, we have this thing that is called the prefrontal cortex. They call it not a super brain, they call it a supra brain. S-U-P-R-A, not a super. It's more like a, you know. Because the prefrontal cortex, I think it's a brain that we quite recently acquired. When I say quite recently, I'm talking about 2 million, 3 million years. In a prefrontal cortex, that is the last ventricle that we've developed in our brains. This is where the speech is. This is where the bronchi area is. You know, you can speak because of the prefrontal cortex. Back in the days, we didn't have words. We were tonal people. Because we understood that what speaks, it's not words. What speaks is the energy. We understood back then that speaking is actually a waste of time. Because words are very clumsy. Just now I'll say something, you take it out of context and you are grieved. You even want to leave the channel. And you're like, I don't understand. I mean, how could he say God is like that? All that I'm telling people is, relax. Slow down. Nobody's fighting with anybody. I bet you. If there's any fighting that is happening, it's the fight that we're having with ourselves. And we want to project our uncomfortable emotions to other people. Because the world is nothing but the mirror. If somehow I piss you off, I'm actually helping you. If your partner pisses you off, they are actually helping you. You know, in India, they say, if you want to have a successful spiritual journey, fall in love with a narcissist. You know, who's here? It's a Sunday afternoon. Please don't stop the likes. You know, my ego is pumping in them. And don't stop the love as well, people, man. You know, don't stop the love, man. Don't stop the love. Even if it hurts. You planting. It's a parable of a sower. Plant. They laugh at you, plant. That's what Mother Teresa used to say. They laugh at you when you're kind. Be kind anyway. They call you stupid when you give. Give anyway. They call you crazy when you forgive. Forgive anyway. Or I was just mixing it up, you know. But she said something like that to say, let's drop it. And there's something that you realize, the moment when you stop fighting, automatically your cells are going to start building. You don't judge. Judging is a form of fighting, but it's a passive-aggressive kind of type of fight. That's what narcissists love using. They call it gaslighting. You know, it's like you're trying to show them their faults, and they bring it right back at you. You're like, I don't even want to argue anymore because I'm being called a crazy one. And if you're an empath on this journey of knowing yourself, good luck. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. Shit, you're going to need it. Helping me in what way? Because such people traumatize. I struggle with forgiveness even if I do, I stay far away from me. Pabi, the thing of forgiveness is like swimming. We can talk about it. We can read about it. We can hold classes about it. We can go to meditation. We can even do yoga. I can buy you books that teaches you how to swim. But if you're not in the water, books are nothing. So what I'm saying is, some of the things, they are experiential. I can't tell you how to forgive. I mean, I wish I could. You know, I just tell you. I mean, I was telling the people this other time that me, myself as well, I'm busy dealing with my issues. I got strong masculine issues that I'm dealing with. And they're so bad for me because I'm a man and I have masculine wounds. Imagine the party that is happening in me. Sometimes I even doubt myself. That's what happens when the energy is not properly calibrated. We all have issues. Hope Ash, Hope Asa, thank you. I'm dealing with one here. It can never be. It can never be. It's not meant to be. But now I need to give you this a little bit of solitude. Whatever that pisses you off, bad, like that thing that actually makes you climb the wall, that's your class right there. You know, that's your class right there. For me, my class, I'll just share a simple one. The people that have been following up the page, they will know that when I share the story about my dad eating the gum, you know, the gum, when you eat it, it has the sounds, you know. And somehow, I had this thing written in my cells that this sound is annoying. But now, I found out that the sound, seemingly, it only annoys me. People around me, they're not getting annoyed. So meaning, it's not the sound that annoys me. It's what I think the sound means that annoys me. It's a story that I told myself about the sound that the chappies makes that annoys me. The chappies has nothing to do with me. So I can't really stop everybody around me from eating a chappies, which is what I used to do, by the way. And depending how I feel, I do. But when I'm aware and in tune, I fix myself. What I'm trying to say? Go towards those things that annoy the heck out of you. If I'm one of them, stick around with us for the next couple of minutes so that I can ruffle you. But you need to find solitude in this way. The Bible says, iron sharpens iron. Electricity, for it to create a spark, there has to be what is called a draft. Friction. We grow from that. Run away from anything that is comfortable. You know, when you meet somebody, you're like, we share so many things in common. Oh, he loves movies. Oh, she loves movies. And I love movies. Oh, he loves books. Oh, my word. That's a very dangerous relationship. You know, because one week you'll be like, oh, it's so beautiful. All of us, we seek certainty, but there's something in us that wants an adventure, something that is dangerous. So don't go for things that you agree with. Don't read books that you only agree with. Don't only listen to people that you agree with. You won't grow. And once you stop growing, you die. Egyptians had the saying, which was later adopted by the Greeks. Marcus Aurelius writes a lot about it. They say, the day you stop learning is the day you die. I'll just show you something. Wherever I go, because this thing needs to be fed. If there's anything that cannot be trusted, it's a human being. Have you ever had this instance where you wake up in the morning, you meditate, and you tell yourself, I'm going to have a beautiful day today. And you get out of your meditation corner, you hop onto your car, you go to work, and somebody cuts across you in traffic. And off you lose it. Those are the characteristics of the brain that is not properly primed. You have to prime your brain. Feed it well. If you can't find good food for it, take out the garbage. Guilt, judgment, stinginess, greed, significance, always wanting to be the last one to be heard. The argument can never end until you say, that's it. You know, let me finish up with that, man. Can you touch on addiction? Coffee and cigarettes for you. Pabi, I got you. So you mean I must not allow? No, don't. Unless you want to prolong your journey, because, you know, here's a fascinating thing about problems. I think these are the words that were once uttered by Jesus' brother, James, in the Bible. I think it's the very last book in the Bible. He says, listen to this. It's a very oxymoronish advice, but I suppose that I'm impressing it upon you to take it. Rejoice when everything is falling apart. In life, you must learn. You must not be afraid of disappointment. Hope, Ash, I don't know, you know, Asa, I don't know why I'm calling you Ash. Hope, Asa, I don't know how many second chances I got, you know, or second chances that I've given myself. I think I'm on my 59th second chance. 59,000. Why I'm saying this is, take it easy on your journey as well. Sometimes you need to find yourself and laugh at yourself. You'll be like, oh, you since lost yourself when that person overtook you and it's 4 o'clock, you've been lost. Have you ever driven to work? Greater part of the journey, you don't know how you got to work. Have you ever started maybe writing a book and all of a sudden something takes over? They call it the state of flow, least resistance. It's a state of trust. You're giving yourself over to something that you can't explain, but you know that you are taken care of. But it can be very tricky, because if you are letting go unconsciously, I want to say this because it's tying into the Oryx story. And if it's too technical, please stop me. If you are moving on, or greater part of your life, you're doing it unconsciously, meaning you are doing it unawarely, you are doing what it's called creating karma. When you are judging, when you are criticizing, when you are gossiping, when you are being stingy, when you are hating, those are some of the unconscious actions. And the reason why I'm saying you're creating karma, it goes back to the parable of the sower. If you hate me, I got something for you. You hating yourself. If I hate you, I hate myself. If I despise you, I despise myself. If I love you, I love myself. And the moment when you catch yourself, every time when you want to judge, or every time when you want to fight, or every time when you want to criticize, pause a bit and ask yourself, where is this coming from? You'll be astounded that most of the things that you do on the outside, it's a way of you running away from yourself. You call people stingy, you call them judgy, you call them, they think they better, you call them as if like, it's because it's an ongoing story in you. It affects your outward story. As within, so it is without. The Bible says, whatever that you bind in heaven, it's bound on earth. Whatever that is bound on earth, it's bound in heaven. If you got peace inside, fuck man, ain't nothing I gonna do shit. You know, they can even drop a flight, or they can do whatever that they want to do. By the way, I'm saying that not necessarily because of other people, but I'm talking about it in the perception or perspective of the ego. Whenever when you want to take a journey, your ego is gonna put up a match. What do you think? You know, you can't be hating for 50 years. All of a sudden you read a book, Norman Vincent Peale. Where's the book? Oh, I think it's in the house. You're reading Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. I'll urge you to get that book. Oh! Just by talking about it gives me chills. By the way, if you want to hook up about the books, we have a WhatsApp group. And you can join it free of charge. You know. But now, how do you do it? You send me a WhatsApp. My numbers are right here on the platform. And the link is right here on the bio as well. Same platform. You go to my homepage. There's a catalog of videos that I previously used to do. Go listen to them, like them, download them. Just make me viral, you know. Share my page, you know. I won't disappoint you. I write a book and I left it unfinished. I found myself writing it out. Hey, I like that. I like that, Opasa. I like that. And the reason why I was saying, maybe perhaps I need to stop before I can go on. Yeah, I'm a writer. I self-published a book, 2016, 2017. Finished my second baby last year. I was still looking for a name, you know. For now, I have the title, I'm not a doctor. But it sounds like some meansies, you know. Like but I'm still, you know, I'm still looking into it. I'm still going to be freshening it up. And yeah, it has a lot of painful stories in a sense that my journey for me got amplified back in the days, I think 2017. Hey, Joy! And by the way, if you're here for the first time, you can follow the brother. You can like the page. If you want to contribute, you can as well. Part of the WhatsApp group, you can do that. By the way, we got a retreat. All of us are going to be under one roof for the second time. The first time, the video is right here on TikTok. Check it out. This time, we're looking into going for 20 participants. It's an energy liberation. That's the whole business of the day. We're going to be getting there on a Saturday, leaving on Sunday. It's in Paris. The details, mostly we're talking about it in a WhatsApp group, but if you don't want to be part of the WhatsApp group and you want to get more details about it, please let me know. It goes for 1,008. We don't want you to be bringing your food. We don't want you to be bringing anything. Just bring yourself. Leave your brain at home. unless you can think with your, brain and feel. No, let me say it again. You must leave your brain at home when you come to the retreat, unless you can feel with your brain and think with your heart. When you come to the retreat, you can leave your brain at home unless you can feel with your brain and think with your heart. Well, if you didn't get it, it's fine. You can write it down. You'll find it out some other time. But for the people that have showed up, I think we've got a couple of sports that are left. The people that have showed up in interest, but back to the subject. Because I know every time when you speak about money, people are like, go heal. Maybe perhaps religion has done a number on you, or they're part of New Ages, what I call spiritual capitalists. They've probably done a number on you. This is not about that. How much is 1,008, Polite? So it's a zero budgeted event. Whatever that we get, we pass it through. We're looking into taking 20 participants. We've booked up 2 sections. We have something that we're gonna be doing on a Sunday after the whole thing, and it's gonna be amazing. But if you wanna, if you still have a bit of trust issues, go check out the last video that we did of the last retreat. But then back to the whole subject of the day. Before I get back to the aura, the brain is not trustworthy. Eh? Hey, Hope. No, it's not. No. I'm going with the brain. You know what the brain does? Let me show you something, Hope. What the brain does. The brain has lied to us a whole lot of money a couple of times, but we don't learn. You wrote a book, right? But at one stage you believed that you're not a writer. You started having writer's block. You left your book high and dry, but the universe still had another plan. You wrote a second book, but the ending has to be the same. You can't tell me that it's your brain that told you that. It helped you. 5 senses are limited in a certain way. It's what we call operating on a lower dantian, using the reptilian brain, the animal brain. Like Mzwaki is saying, it's a bit of an ego. Let me show you something quickly about it. Polite. Thank you. That's a good price. Is it a good price? It is, eh? I'm glad you get it. So, by the way, for the people that are here for the first time, on this platform we freaky like that. We don't espouse to which God is better, which God is lesser. We don't espouse to casting aspersions on what people believe. For me, if you do a candle, go to town, bro. For you, if you do crystals, if you do your Bible, if you were rocking with Abraham, if you're rocking with Jesus, let's all gather here, because at the end of the day, we are all going to the same place. God never makes a mistake. I normally say to people, don't quote me, but on this one, quote me on this one. God never makes it. Never. You know what opened up my eyes on this thing? I don't know how many of you guys know the comedian John. Who knows Josh Carlin? Ntefeng, are you here? I know that you said your network is giving you issues. George Carlin was quoted saying, "You are a fool if you think Mother Nature can make a mistake. Or you are a fool if you think that you can fool Mother Nature." Everything is on a clock. Even your husband. Even your wife. Everything is just there. It's just... But now, welcome. But now the problem becomes when you think that the universe is fighting you You pushing the lesson away. The pain comes from resistance. I mean, it's like there's somebody that asked me, so if I'm in love with a narcissist, because by the way, the quickest way to get enlightenment is to marry a narcissist. These are not my words. These are the words that were once uttered by some yogi. I just forgot his name. He says, marry somebody that doesn't agree with you with nothing. Because they'll help you to show you that you're not that important. You don't have to win all the time. You don't have to be right all the time. You don't have to figure everything out all by yourself. I know you're sitting there, you're busy studying, you're getting the 4th degree because they want to pay you well, you know. You want to feed your kids. And everybody has a right reason. But somehow you need to surrender. And once you surrender, you let go, you stop fighting, then Mother Nature carries you like this. In religion, particularly in Christianity, they call it grace. It's something that you get by doing. But we're very busy these days. After this TikTok, I must take up a consultation. After a consultation, I must send up an appointment. After an appointment, I must figure out what is it I want to cook. Then tomorrow, I must send up that thing. And now I must take up the kids to the work. I must do this and I must do that. Sometimes we just need to shut the fuck up. For most of us, silence is very scary. For most of us, when prayers are not answered instantly, we can't wait. For the best of us. And now we don't understand that the work of a GPS is to keep quiet. I mean, imagine if GPS all the time, 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. Once you get on a highway, the GPS keeps quiet. Imagine, I mean, on the last retreat, we had people that drove all the way from Cape Town. They booked a flight, but for some reason, I don't know what happened. And now they drove all the way from Cape Town. I can just imagine, from Cape Town to, I'd say, to Bethlehem, the road is straight. GPS is quiet. That's why normally God is sometimes, whenever when you pray, you know, you'll be like, oh God, please help me. Yo, they just fired me. My wife, my husband is leaving me. Oh. Probably your ancestors are looking at you, they're like, you know, oh no, shit, man. Pulas, so. Must go to the gym. Yeah, sure. Yantel, thank you very much for the follow. We're very busy. Oh, you got no idea. You know, Kwanzaa, we're so busy that we can't even appreciate sleep. Sleep is a waste of time. Okay, I know that I left my aura. Let's share something about sleep while I'm talking about it. I learned this today. Right, listen to this. For the people that are here, you can follow the brother. Thank you very much if you have already. Thank you very much for the likes. The giftings as well are open. I don't like setting up the targets because I'm a type of guy, you know, if you have it in your heart, you know, just keep on giving. There's no limit. You know, just keep on giving. And if you feel like you want to give off the platform or you love whatever that we're talking about on the channel, my numbers are right here on the platform. And if you got something personal that you wish that you need to share with the brother, you can do that. But obviously, there are systems that we put in place so that whatever that we share with you can be meaningful. If you're rocking up with the chakras, if you're rocking up, all of a sudden now you want to start up with the incenses and candles, or if you want to talk about the Bible, if you want to talk about the Quran, if you want to talk about, I had somebody who was asking me about the significance of crystals. If you want to know about that, you can talk to me about it. By the way, let me make a huge disclaimer. I'm not going to give you anything of value because anything of value comes from you. 99% of healing is self-administered. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? That's the biggest crack if you want to start working on your life. Continue about sleep. Polite. Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for reminding me. Okay. There are 4 chemicals that you release when you sleep. Right. Chemicals, it's neurotransmitters. You can call them peptides or neuropeptides. Or you can call them hormones, for the people that... by the way, hormones are not only sexual hormones that we have. We have a lot. We have a lot of hormones. We got oxytocin, we got serotonin, we got vasopressin, we got the DMT. We got adrenaline, we got cortisol. There's a lot, But I want to speak about these chemicals that you release when you sleep. To start with, sleeping pattern is divided into sections. You best believe this. When I learned about it, I was sitting there, I was like, I can't wait to share it with people. When you sleep, your body heals itself. But it does that, amongst other steps, in 2 phases. You got what we call non-rapid eye movement, right? And you got what we call rapid eye movement. These are the 2. Have you ever seen somebody when they are asleep and their eyes will be doing... That's a rapid eye movement. But there comes a time when you're fast asleep, obviously your eyes shut out. Basically means that your conscious self, it's in abeyance, it's out of the way. That's when God can start working. Whenever where our smartness ends, God starts. They call it chaos, entropy. In Hindu, in Zen Buddhism, they say the Tao is the force that keeps quiet while you talk. And it's a force that talks while you're quiet. So somehow our 5 senses, they've helped us up until this far, From now onwards, we need to try something else different. True healing and growth happens when we are sleeping. Woo-hoo! These are for you, eh? So this is then what happens. The first part of sleep, it's primarily categorized as non-rapid eye movement. But now there are times here. From 10 o'clock, your circadian rhythm, which is your internal clock, your homeostatic system, your internal technology, 10 o'clock, your pituitary starts talking to your endocrine glands, meaning it's your hormone combustion center. It says, it's time now to release melatonin for it to peak, because melatonin peaks from 10 to run about 11:45, right? At that stage, you're going to be moving from what we call non-rapid eye movement stage to rapid eye movement stage. The chemical that your endocrine system releases, it's melatonin. But if you sleep 5 past 10, oh my word, my chest is killing me. No, it doesn't. Just now fall off here. Some days we need to remind ourselves we are God and we are co-creators. Be careful what you say with your mouth. Go read the book of Job. It will tell you a lot. Whatever that I was afraid of has come over me. But today it's not about that. So what happens is your non-rapid eye movement phase, it's inspired by the secretion of melatonin. Lights have to be off, obviously, or it has to be a little bit dim. Because melatonin, it's a chemical that obviously gets you drowsy. It gets you ready to sleep. But it cannot be released if it's getting a whole lot amount of stimuli. Like the people that sleep. When you sleep, you want to dwindle up or sleep with the phone. Oh my word. You sleep with the phone now. The electromagnetic spectrum is fucked up. The radioactivities besides your bed, it's so bad that your aura gets diminished. Because the Wi-Fi signals, the data signals, the towers that are outside, the microwave that we warm up our food with, the fridges that we put our food in, the TVs that we watch, the laptops that we watch, the same TikTok that we on. It's emitting a certain amount of energy, and your aura picks it up, not necessarily you. Your aura decides. That is your vital self. If it decides to leave, we will call you dead. We will pronounce you dead. So you have to understand, it's much more important than the body or the box or the container or what my sister normally says. This thing is kaftin, It depends what you have in it. Do you have the goodies? Oh, you got crabs and you got all these rotten food in the form of hate, judgment, criticism. You think you're better. Calm down. Your aura doesn't work like that. Your soul, it's not like that. Now let's come back to the sleep. From 1:30, if I was to say correctly, right? But this research, Linda landed about today. If you want to know more about it, please holler at your boy. Obviously, I'll try to share some bit of research that I have. Otherwise, I'll send everything in a group once I find some sufficient research on this thing. Now, melatonin, it's a chemical that it's self-generated. It's biologically secreted. You have it. They sell melatonin pills by pharmaceuticals, very expensive. Mainly because a whole host amount of us, because of the generational or I'd say genetical pool, we have ceased to use that technology. As a result, if you don't use it, you lose it. Now you have to go buy it at the store. And now it's a messed up game. One of the things that disables or destabilizes your circadian rhythm from releasing melatonin is lack of sunlight, lack of fresh food, lack of water, not being grounded, lack of forgiveness. These things that I'm mentioning, by the way, they are also responsible for diminishing or contracting your auric field. They call them T cells and L cells. But that is if we go, Right now we'll keep it by the aura. Some people know it as an astral body. Some people know it as an akashic body. Some people know it as the subtle body. Some people call it the soul, the spirit, the ka, the chi, the vital life force, the prana. Christians call it Holy Spirit. Basotho ba ibitsa moya o halalela. Who would have thought? That's why I normally tell to the people, don't hate churches, man. Hate yourself for not understanding. Law of use and disuse. Woo-hoo, I like that. Hey, Shirley. Who do we still have here? How long have I been here now? I started 2:30. Have I been talking for 40 minutes already? Oh. Okay. I better get to my subject because I stopped with the aura, but I'm trying to mix it up. Let me get back to the sleep. So melatonin stops from secreting, obviously, because a lot of people, somehow we've been told that the sun will burn your ass and will kill you. Yeah, no, for sure. You can develop some melanoma, which is a cancer that is caused by excessive sun exposure. But melanoma as well, you have to understand something. It's your body reacting, recalibrating itself. Because when you are sick, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to die. I mean, look at fever. When you go to fever, commonly or colloquially, we are being told that fever is bad. But if you look at it, fever is not really, really bad. Fever, it's a very systematic and technologically advanced way of how your body fights the pathogens by increasing the temperature to the very unbearable heights. Because it's known that heat gets rid of pathogens quickly. But the fever, obviously, if you're going through fever and now you take something, you're telling your body, stop healing yourself. I'll help you. Law of use and disuse. No wonder you can't shake off the fever all by yourself. You have to have ACC 1000, eucalyptus oil, this and that and that. In actual fact, the biggest secret is your goddamn body can heal itself. Get the book by lady that I love so much, the late Louise Hay. The name of the book is You Can Heal Yourself. But it's not that easy because remember, we are bunch and 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 bunch of stories. That's what we're made up of. You have a story about fever. You have a story about money. You have a story about women. You have a story about man. You have a story about church. You have a story about a pastor. You have a story about TikTok. You have a story about chakras. But that is your story. Some people have a very detrimental stories that they keep on running in their lives. One, I will never find a great partner. It's one of the stories. And you wonder why all your relationships don't work. You forget about it, or you never catch yourself while you're saying it, and even when your relationships are actually getting messed up because of that, what you said. So if the change was to happen in your relationships, we have to get inside of ourselves. We have to go to our cellular structure. We have to go to our genome. We have to go to our molecular structure. We have to go to our substrata, our basic selves. We have to become engineers. We have to write new programs to ourselves. We have to start improving the operating software. If our brains are not properly manned with things that are watching out for negative thoughts, increase the vacancies up there. If your office is not properly structured in here, oh my word, everything is just going to come and it's going to send you there, it's going to send you there. I'm going to come here, I'm going to piss you off. Your partner is going to go there, they're going to piss you off. Your neighbor is going to start playing their radio, they're going to piss you off. I'm going to start charging for this retreat, I'm going to piss you off. Your whatever is going to do this, they're going to start pissing you off. And when you're getting pissed off, you are dissipating your energy, you're killing your auric field. Back to the sleep. Second phase of the sleep is what we call rapid eye movement sleep. But I'm not done about the non-rapid eye movement sleep. Listen to this. It turns out that our brains have a filing system. Every single thing that happens, including this conversation, you are busy registering it in what we call hippocampus. Neuroscientists call it a hippocampus. A hippocampus is like a host. It's like a USB. This is where your short-term memories are being converted to long-term memories. It has what we call the refractory period. If you think about one thought for more than 30 seconds, it becomes semi or medium long-term or medium-term. But if you think about something less than 30 seconds, it's not going to bother you. It's like when somebody cuts across you in traffic and you like, we nearly had an accident, but we didn't have it. Maybe they have a child that is sick in a car. When you get to work, you probably would have forgotten about it. But once you start reacting to it, once you start judging it, when you get to the office, everybody's going to have to know about it. Can you believe it? This check that, this and that. That's how emotions gets to be indelible in our psyche. That's how our auric field gets to be disturbed. That's why sometimes intuition cannot be heard. Because the intuition doesn't use words. It uses the heart. It uses, that's why they call it a God voice. God doesn't speak with you in language or you say, I swear, man, God spoke to me. When God speaks to you, this is something that fascinated a psychoanalyst by the name of Carl Gustav Jung, protege of Sigmund Freud. And he coined a term, synchronicity, what we call coincidences. It turns out there is nothing coincidental about life. You don't just bump into this life by mistake, you didn't. Somehow, your aura, because you're looking into healing or having alternative conversations, it sent out a message into the field. That's what quantum physics calls it. It calls it a field of possibilities. So your aura sent out a possibility frequency or a wave. Somehow it caught on it. The same way on how you fall on to same teachings on TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp. All of a sudden you start hearing about chakras. You want to know about the nadis, enlightenment, third eye, kundalini. What is happening? It's because your aura, your subconscious self knows that it's time. But the ego doesn't want to go there. It's like, no. You know, the power of silence. Hey, Mello. I don't know. Who's new here? And who's still here? The power of the tongue. Yeah. I see one. So, you're still here, Paulite. So, I'm running 2 topics here concurrently. I still have the aura and I have the sleep. And I know that people are going to kill me about the sleep. But obviously, my time, I have like 3 minutes left. I promise that I'm going to be going on for an hour. Unless I just extend it. Which one should I finish? The aura or the sleep? We are afraid of our own thoughts. Yeah, Tabby, this is for you, eh? These likes are for you. By the way, if you're here for the first time, we have developments that we have running at the moment. We have a WhatsApp group /book club. We share books in there. We help one another. We're in the process of learning in there. Sometimes it can be very rough, I understand, particularly when your ego is concerned. You know, everybody can say whatever the heck that they're going to say. By the way, the reason why I love emphasizing that is because, thank you, Musa. Welcome, Toby. I see you. Very rough. Hey, it's very rough in there. The reason why I ascribe to freedom of speech, if I was to call it, not really freedom of speech, but for, it's time that we stopping who we are, bros. You know very well that you smoke. But now this lady or this man that you want to go for, they don't want you smoking. And now you go into this relationship not telling them that you smoke. Carl Gustav Jung calls that shadow. Parts of you that are not allowed to be expressed, they become shadow. If your dad stopped you from being happy, from smiling, while you wanted to express it, you stopped doing it because you thought that the world is a dangerous place. As a result, you became a narcissist or you became an empath. So the wounds that I normally speak about on this platform to say that we need to heal might not be only the wounds that are within the 5 senses border. We're healing the karmic wounds here. We're breaking apart the habits that we developed, which somehow at this moment are fucked up. They're not serving us anymore. It's very sad that you'll meet somebody who's 50 or 60, but they still behave like a 5-year-old. That's pain. That's trauma. That needs healing. We have people that are reactive. We have people that are very unforgiving. We have people that are very stingy, tight. Tight. We have people that are very tight, bro. So true. Clubs are full of Monday to Monday because we're running away from ourselves. Billy, limited, we're very tight. And now we don't understand the parable of the sower that if you give, you get. If you love, you get loved. If you forgive, you get forgiven. If you judge, you get judged. If you criticize, you get criticized. Because after all, who do you think it's doing the criticizing? You. Towards who? You. Using another person as a mirror. When your emotions are telling you something else, because your emotions will always talk to you. That's why they call it energy in motion. Emotions, energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion. When it's stuck, your heart will tell you. When somebody's lying to you, your heart will tell you. I don't know why some of the people are still on this platform after I even told them all the time. I could be lying to your ass. Why? It's because people are not listening with their brains. People are listening with their hearts. This is a faculty that we need to cultivate, particularly on the spiritual journey. Because most of the conversations that are going to come on this journey. By the way, you're going to travel it all by yourself. You know, we wish we could come. We're not going to come. We can't come. Even us in the WhatsApp group, you know, I normally look at people when they start hating this journey in the beginning and they start looking for somebody to blame. I'm normally the first person to blame. Some people will be like, I'm so mad that I made this page. I mean, like, what have I done to you? Because what I do normally is, on this platform, together with all the people that are here, we are advocating for this thing. If a healing has to come from you. If the healing has to come from you. Your pastor doesn't hold your healing. Not even your bishop. You know, not even your chiropractor has your healing for you. TikTok can help you, a book can help you. Shit, man, I can help you. I know a lot of people are fighting me because now they be like, you charging us, but now you're telling us that you're not going to give anything. I don't have it. By the way, if you're on some journey and you feel like you need an additional grudge, you know, it's like where you're walking around. Meditation is a grudge, by the way. It's not something that is good for all the people yet. Don't be deceived that all of a sudden everybody's talking about meditation and that's where you are. You also want to like, yeah. You might meet hideous things in there. By the way, when you meditate, it's epistemologically, meditation is known as a form of acquainting thyself with thyself. So meditation is you knowing yourself. Meditation is a form of silence. That's why a lot of people can't keep quiet, because there are conversations in their head. It's like, oh, I knew what that. It's like, I mean, like, when was the last time you spoke good to yourself about yourself? Hey, in time it's tough, but hey, we gotta keep on moving, eh? So we have one-on-one conversations, or we have what we call, I'd say, me just giving signposts. My numbers are right here on the platform. You can get hold of me, then I can pass you through to somebody who's busy handling it for us. If maybe perhaps you want to be cleaning up with your chakras, or somebody told you that your chakras are misaligned, or you feel that they're going anti-clockwise, the color is not right, it's a bit faded, it's black. You know, there's a lot of stories on this new age thing. You just never know what to believe. Some people tell you got 7 chakras, 13 chakras, 14 chakras. If maybe perhaps you want to have conversations about that, you can get hold of the brother on the side. Our sessions, I think they go for 30 minutes to an hour. By the way, for me, you know, this is my side hustle. So don't judge me when I say to you, there's an exchange that needs to happen. But enough of that. Back to the topic of sleep. I don't know. Can we stop the likes at maybe 20 grand? Because I'm winding it down now. We are like 600 left. Yeah. So you can send me the WhatsApp group. Then I can put you... You can send me the WhatsApp. Then I can put you in a WhatsApp group. I can send you some of the books that we've shared so far. Go check out the videos that I've done for the people that are new. I haven't been putting new videos lately. It's because there's something that is also coming after the retreat. We're going to be having structured sessions. I know that there's some people that are very shaft and fascinated about chakras. So we're going to be dedicating enough, sufficient space and time for that. If you want to know about candles, I know there's a lot of people that are, you know, you're hiding yourself, but you know, if you got your shrine, or if you are this, you got whatever that you have, let's talk about it. With me, anything goes. If you're rocking up with ancestors, good. If you're rocking up with Jesus, good. If you're rocking up with Abraham, if you're rocking up with Moses, if you're doing Abraham, if you're doing your incenses, your imbebo, if you're doing whatever that you're doing, because ultimately, us arguing about the mode of transport, it's coco melonish. All the cars that we are in, it's either you going with God, or you going with Brahma, or you going with Vishnu, or you going with Krishna, or you going with Jesus. These are the cars. Religions are the cars to the ultimate end. But then if you still one of those people to say blasphemy and wrong and what and right and who's superior, maybe this channel, you know, it's not your cup of tea. So here we're very open-minded. At some points, obviously, our brains fall off, but that's how it is. Become open-minded. You'll make a very good progress. Back to the sleep. Enough with the commercial. The non-rapid eye movement, first half of the sleep, your hippocampus engages in what is called the filing system. Everything that you learned during the day, everything that you've seen, everything that you smelled, they are all housed in the hippocampus. So when you sleep, it's like there are people that are assigned to work on your neurons to file up whatever that you've learned. So your hippocampus will take the memories from short term, it will transfer it to the long term. But wait on, that's not it. It goes further. It seems like on the first half, melatonin, because you have it in large numbers, between 10 o'clock and 1:30, melatonin cleans up your neurons. Your neurons are encased with what is called Merlin sheath. Merlin sheath, it's like, you know when you have the wires in a pipe, you know the way how the electricity, those wires that are inside are your neurons, but whatever that is covering the wires is called the Merlin sheath. If it's not cleaned, your brain becomes foggy. You start becoming irritable. Have you ever seen yourself how irritable you become when you didn't sleep? It's because filing system never took place. Your brain is still like this. Now you're angry at everybody, but no, that's not it. People that don't sleep tend to overeat. People that don't sleep tend to judge a lot. People that don't sleep tend to generate stress chemicals, which are cortisol and adrenaline in very large numbers. I can't finish about the non-rapid eye movement. I want to go to the rapid eye movement because this one here is going to blow your mind. Now, you go to the rapid eye movement, I think from, let's be safe, depending on how your circadian rhythm is, because circadian rhythm as well, it's informed by your aura. We have to clean ourselves up, people. Who's into fasting, yeah? Who's into fasting? Oh, yeah, do yourself a favor. Find yourself some sleep. Oh, by the way, in a non-rapid eye movement, you know what else happens? The side benefit. It reverses your aging. You know, there's a lot that is happening that we're not aware of. What happens is you get what we call telomeres. Telomeres, depending on how short, because if they are kept, they cannot be elongated. But if you get enough sleep, enough melatonin, melatonin is like Gaviscon to your brain fog, if I was to call it that. I stole this from somebody that I was speaking to during the week, and I told them straight, if you didn't copyright this, I'm going to start using it. It's like Gaviscon to your brain. So, melatonin also decreases your brain chatter. If you suffer from ruminating, sleep. Now, fasting, this is what fasting does. Fasting, it's a most highly developed spiritual technology. Go listen to Miles Monroe. I'll try to share some of the books. And in case if I don't be shy to paste it in a group to say, hey bruh, books. If I still have it, I can share them with you. Sleep a lot. You do? Yeah. Tell us what's happening, Isimo. Or tell them, as to what's happening. Because sometimes when I did say when I started that I'm going to try to talk about experiential things, but trying to use colloquial 5 sensory perception language. Now I find myself sitting here now having to convince the people, you have to heal, you have to fast. You have to heal, you have to fast. I wish that some people can tell them as to how it is. But fasting is fucking hard, eh? It's not easy to think. I see you say you try. I do it 48 hours weekly. My last meal, it's on Sunday. It's on Monday evening. My next meal will be Wednesday evening. I stay away from cooked food. I'll tell you why. I told you guys that I'm having a whole lot amount of masculine issues that I'm dealing with, right? Fine. Woohoo! Here's a like for you. I see more. No wonder your name is I see more. Fasting will make you see more. How's that? I got a whole lot amount of masculine issues, meaning my yang side or my electric side tends to be very high at times. Masculinity is related to what we call the fire element and the wind element, according to the Chinese healing system, Japanese. You won't find it here in the West. In the West, they'll tell you, no, that's blasphemy, bro. Go to Chinese, bro. Go to Chinese. The way I'm so fascinated about traveling and learning about other people's things, at some time I think I went and I bought myself this book. First time in Latin America. In here you learn about how people do things. Don't only be stuck with praying and incense and candles. And, there's a lot that people do out there. Some people climb brooms. So if you want to be there, I mean, like, explore your mind. I do Thursdays through Sunday. Hey, weekends for me are very difficult. That's why I normally do it during the week. So deal with your demons. If maybe perhaps you know that on weekends you normally go out and you have a good time and friends are there, don't do that, because every time when you're enforcing guilt in you, you're generating emotions that are of a very low frequency. I think guilt is 30, shame is 20, fear is 100, confusion is 125. This is according to Power versus Force. There's a book by Dr. Hawkins. If you want it as well, let me know. He details how do emotions measure up with you. If you're feeling guilty, generating emotions that are of a lower quality, as a result, your aura is taking a knock and you can't sleep, because anything that constricts the heart cannot generate hormones. Probably you're struggling with melatonin because there's a hate story that you have, but it's subconscious. You won't know it. You won't know it. You know how the brain is. The brain is like a computer, right? You got Microsoft, you got Excel, you got internet there, you got music, you got VLX there, you got whatever, or VLC. But now you don't close the programs, you minimize all of them. That's what your brain is. Your brain has kept the score since you were born. Whatever that happened, even if your conscious brain has forgot about it, your body keeps score. There's a book that I shared in a WhatsApp group at some stage. But if you're not in a WhatsApp group and I'm mentioning some of the books, you can jot them down, get hold of me, send me a WhatsApp, and I'll hook you up, Free 99. But then if you want to have a session, obviously we'll talk about it. Can we continue about staying away from cooked? So, Neem, cooked food. This is what happens to me when I'm balancing up my masculine issues. I don't eat anything that is cooked. In a way, I'm trying to get in touch with my feminine side, my yin, my magnetism side, my feminine side, my right hand brain, where the intuition stays, where love stays. Not a straight-brained, wanting to figure everything out all by yourself. You give yourself to the force. But there, it's not safe because... like they say, nature, it's not trustworthy. You could die. No. We get up purely. Oh, confused. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, Melo. Send you a WhatsApp group, then we can put you in there. But obviously, we can arrange if you want to have a session. Maybe perhaps you're going through a certain journey, because here's the thing, what we need to understand. Information is energy. Energy is consciousness. Consciousness is light. Light is awareness. Awareness dispels the darkness. The darkness obviously is going to resist. I mean, it's like the people, pretty much everybody that I've met for the longest of time, a whole lot amount of people have been oscillating on a lower dantian. That is the first three primal chakras, particularly the Muladhara, the first one, where the Kundalini stays, that red one there by the coccyx, by your tailbone, there. Because you can't move from there until you have confirmed with yourself that you are not being punished, because your safety is there. So, I see more. Or is that your number right there? No, my numbers are on a platform. I don't know. I see more. Perhaps are you saying that I should add you on? Send me a WhatsApp. My numbers are right here on a platform, TikTok platform. Then I can put you in. I can also try to send you some of the books. And if you feel like you wanna, be kind enough, if I've touched your heart, you can also touch my heart. The people that will tell you on this platform, "Ooh, he gives so much gifts." Like, just shower me. But nonetheless, we got the retreat that is happening on the 1st of July. All of us are going to be under one roof. It's energy liberation. We're going to be trying to move up this energy. Obviously, we're going to be relying a lot of the 7 chakra system. You might also use the 12 chakra system, 13 chakra system. The people that have studied Hinduism, they'll tell you that we have around about like 114 chakras. You're still struggling with 7. Imagine 114. On top of your chakras, you have what we call the nadis, which are around about like 76,000. You also have the meridians. These are the electric highways. Your energy that you have, it travels in those areas. But I hope it was not too technical. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. If you did, I don't see any questions unless somebody wants to ask me something. I know I didn't finish up about the sleep. I didn't finish up about the aura. But I think tomorrow, because every weekday at 2 o'clock I'm always live. If you got questions, you can come and ask them here. But please, if maybe perhaps you want to talk to me on the side, please let me know so that I can schedule you properly. Because we're fixing up for the retreat that is coming on the 1st of July. And there's a couple of developments as well that are happening on our personal lives. So let me know so that I can properly session you. I don't want to be talking to you and I'm busy doing some of the things as well. I want to respect the session in as much as I know that you'll respect it too. And you just disclaim as well, like I normally say, if you call me, drop your expectations so that you don't get hurt. Even with your relationships, try this week. I know you want to kill your partner. I know you want to kill them. You're like, try this. Just let it go. Just for a week. Don't fight. Don't argue. But don't do it while you're holding an intention that is bad in your heart, because the universe listens to the heart. The universe doesn't speak English. I mean, the universe doesn't fucking care about your bank balance. You got money. Yeah, sure. I mean, do whatever that you want to do. The universe doesn't care how big your ass is or how strong your abs are or how magnanimous, how linguistically correct are you. The universe talks about intention. The intention is controlled by the energy. The quality of the energy matters. The energy that we're living in a 3-dimension density, respects the law of polarity, the law of duality, the law of gender, electromagnetic, left and brain, right and brain, yin and a yang, on and off, high and a low, left and a right, inside and outside. So in you, you got the energy, but it's been split into two, in a way, electromagnetic spectrum. You have to balance your feminine energies. You have to balance your masculine energies. You can't have too much, you can't have too little. All that we're doing, my job and your job, is to maintain the balance. Hate destabilizes you. Greed destabilizes you. Stinginess, it destabilizes you. So when the brother is asking, no, but we're on 20, sorry. 20, thank you very much. Criminal offensive side eye. How to overcome addiction. Hey, Pobby. It depends what you're rocking with, It's like Some people will be rocking up with porn, but they don't want to talk about it on a platform. You know, everybody's civilized. Shit, I can't tell. You know, let me make an example about porn to start with. Hopefully, people that are here are quite civilized enough. If they're not, forgive me in advance. Let's talk about the 7 chakra system, right? I think it will be easier that way. You got your first chakra, second chakra. Let me call them by names. You got your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus. You got your heart. You got your throat. You got your pituitary gland, which is in your head. Then I think like 2 centimeters, just hovering above your head, there's an auric field that is visible to not necessarily physical eyes, you know, but like you know what I'm talking about. Come on, man. But now, this is something that is generated by the pineal gland. This thing that everybody's looking for. My pineal gland is calcified, you know. They put in chemicals in water. Oh, they are killing us. You know, while you're still on that conspiracy tip, we're talking about something else different. But it's fun. Rabbit hole is very nice. So, the root chakra, it's associated with the gonads. The gonads are our reproductive centers. Right. The root chakra together, because partly the sacral chakra shares a bit of, because please be careful, linguistically please don't mistake me. The body is just like Gestalt in a divine way. Gestalt is, the whole is better than some of its parts. You can't look at the body like like they're doing now. You got eye specialist, then you got your womb specialist, then you got your, you know, body doesn't work that way. Your lung is connected to your ass is connected to your nose is connected to your ears is connected to your leg is connected to your forehead. There's a lot, because we're holographic like that. So the root chakra controls your gonads. The root chakra, by the way, the color is red. The way how the chakra is supposed to oscillate or to vibrate, because the chakra is an energy center. The normal chakra or the healthy chakra, as they say, it goes clockwise. Now the chakra has the outside and the inside. It has the front and it has the back. And it has a wheel that, it's something like this. This is the other side, this is the other side. Here in the middle is a wheel. Your chakra oscillates from the inside out or from the outside in, or both. Hopefully you got that. So now, if the chakra for some reason, it doesn't look to emit the natural or the balanced state, it's going to affect what we call the gland. The gland that is associated with the root chakra is the gonads, the reproductive center. For men, we call it the testes. For ladies, ovaries. If you find yourself being too much promiscuous, giving a whole lot amount of piss jobs, you know, or love playing with yourself, it could be that there's an issue that needs a bit of calibrating, because if the chakra is out of calibration, it tends to play itself out in your body. People that can't tell their truth, they tend to suffer from thyroidism, hypo or hyper. It's either it works too much or it works too little. Your thyroid affects your metabolism. Some of the people that are always on a state of diarrhea, they can't keep the food. It's because this chakra here, which is blue, which is your 5th one according to the 7th chakra system, it's not balanced. So each and every single addiction, Pabi, you can't really answer it from, like now, from a TikTok perspective. Because obviously we need to find out. You could find that if you grew up in a very dangerous and hostile home, some of your energetical structure or body was disturbed. Your psyche, your aura was coded in an erroneous way. So now you have to do the healing. But now the healing is painful because you have to go touch the wound. You have to dress the wound. You have to forgive yourself. And while you do that, might as well love yourself in a mix. So if maybe perhaps you want to be dealing up with that, you can diddling me on the side, but I'm gonna charge you. You know, and you'll find that this thing is very, very useless because, like they say in Zen Buddhism, those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. I can't promise that I'll give you any form of healing because I'll be lying to you. The healing comes from you. Like what you just did by asking the question, your subconscious mind is ready to give you the answer, but we don't listen as people. We're always talking. Not audibly, of course, but internally. Sub-vocal conversations. Always talking. Even now, right? Right now, you're talking. They say, according to neuroscience, you have around about 75,000 thoughts per day. You talk, you right now. Who's this guy? What am I going to eat? I wonder when my husband coming. How did they travel? How did she travel? Where's my child? What am I going to wear tomorrow? Must I give him? Must I not? Must I go to the retreat? Must I not? Must I listen to him? Must I follow him? Must I hate him? Must I like him? Must I like myself? Oh, my next door neighbor pisses me off. Oh, this dog. Oh, the color. Oh, yeah. So we always, but I'm not saying that we should stop because we can't, but at least let's manage that internal charter by cleaning ourselves. If you want to know more, if I didn't finish and you mad at me because I didn't finish, I meant to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, by the way. It's a joke. Join me tomorrow, 2 o'clock. But if you feel that you want to continue up these conversations, you can send me a WhatsApp, then I can put you in a WhatsApp group. The retreat is still up and running. I see that my wife is here. She's the one who just gifted. You see? Her name is Lorato. She's the person that you're going to be talking about with the retreat. She'll tell you how does it work. You can get your name down, of course, which they call it a registration. And I think that's it from me. The problem starts when your thoughts control you. Definitely. Extremely insightful. Thank you very much, Melo. Thank you very much for joining us. Tabi, thank you to Pabi as well. I see more. Painful for real. Kwanzaa and everybody else that is here. I see that you guys are sitting there at the back there. You know, I see familiar faces, but nonetheless, you guys must enjoy your sound day. They call it a Sunday. All of us are a piece of sound. We are orchestra, to be exact. Is your orchestra harmonious? Is it playing beautiful music? Do people want to come close to it? Or nobody wants to come close to your type of music that you emit? If your music is not properly calibrated, you might want to start considering that. Become a beautiful conductor. Write a beautiful script for your movie. Forgive yourself while you edit. Keep it moving. It's not the end of the world. Even if it looks dark and gloomy, it's not going to be like that all the time. Probably they fired you. You're sick. Your body's falling apart. Finances are not coming in together. Your bank balance is also looking at you saying, you know, for all those people, if it's too extreme for you, good.